but this is the vibration. It's there at cold start. It just barely 1100 RPMs. Bring up the idle a little bit, not that bad. So it's rubbing on the transmission tunnel right about there. And then, yeah. So I also have an exhaust leak somewhere. So we'll work on that. Saying goodbye to that thing. Maybe going live on Bring a Trailer tomorrow. Oh, I need to say goodbye to this thing. Anybody want it? E39, 5-speed touring. Parking brake's still on. I shouldn't be doing this with a camera, but I am. You know? Because who's gonna stop me? My dog. Okay. So my mission, should I choose to accept it, will be to try again to put the dual section 1 rasp delete pipe guy on. I tried to do this a little while ago when we put that DSSR on, which is great, by the way, and failed. And I think it's because we put the passenger side pipe back on first and it sits lower, and so the driver's side, which sits higher, was unable to get up and into where it needs to go. So we'll see about that. It's also leaking at one of these ends. So I gotta tighten those up. That's not fun. Like I was saying, this thing, Bring a Trailer, tomorrow. See if we can get some light to turn on. Ooh. Ah. I wanted to make a video doing a comparison, side-by-side highway comparison between this car, which I figure makes, I don't know, a little over 200 horsepower with the 2.9 liter, versus this car, which, I mean, S54 is going to make, 330 horsepower, but this car weighs, I forget how much, 3,400 pounds, less than the M3. I actually looked up this morning. The 330i sedan weighs less than the E46 M3. So take that, expensive car owners. But I'm sure this thing's much faster than this. But this car, if you turn the sport button off, the throttle only opens up to 80%. So we could do an 80% throttle limited comparison on this thing, which is still going to be, I don't know, 80% of 330 plus a tune. And I wonder if that's 330 at the crank or at the wheel. So anyways, about 300, we'll say, versus about 200 minus a lot of weight. That could be fun. That could be fun. Or we could compare it to the turbo convertible over there, and that made 270 wheel horsepower on the dyno at 16 psi, but I've also, I can turn the boost control off, and then it would just be wastegate, and that would be 12 psi. So we could do this car versus, compared to, not versus, because that's a race, and that's probably illegal. to a number of cars. And then there's also the 2.5 liter Z3 we could compare it to. I'm sure this is heavier than the E30. So that could be cool too. And then I guess we could also compare it to my dad's Saab, which is not here. I don't know what the displacement on his engine is. It's like a 2-liter turbo. That could be cool too. You just put an intercooler on it. So I don't know. If anyone's interested in that stuff and sees this video in the next week while this auction is live, you can make it happen. The weather's junk, so the car would get dirtier in the course of these activities. But it's good data, I think. So I don't know. We could do it. It's a nice car. See, I'm gonna miss it, but I just don't use it. So, someone else could enjoy it. Part whatever of projects and stuff. I picked up these 2 dirt bikes 2 weekends ago. It was kind of a 2-for-1 deal. And this one is they're both 4-stroke. This one's a 250. And it will fire up okay. I mean, pretty quick on starting fluid, but takes some good kicking if you just want to do it all natty. So I've got a new head, or not new head, I've got a new piston kit in the mail, so we might rebuild the top end on that. This one is a something or other 450, and the guy said he put a new head gasket on it, and it's just never been right since. Let me see if I can get this light to turn on with my body. Hello! So, this thing, it's got very good compression, and I don't really know much about it, but one thing that immediately caught my attention is how loose this cam chain tensioner adjuster bolt is. So, if it's that loose, I'm wondering if they've either jumped timing or they were just never right to begin with, and that's why it's near impossible to start. So plan of attack on this thing is probably just going to be to check the timing on it and see where that's at and go deeper. I don't know, I could just list this thing for sale as is and probably make myself, almost whole and still have this 250 to play with and not cost myself the time and castration of digging into this, because as we see, I've got plenty of stuff torn apart. I need to not have things torn apart. I need to have things finished and ready to play with or gone. So that's the plan. Well, kind of the plan. And last and absolutely least is the longest running project. It was a 50cc 2-stroke, and it's going to be a Predator 212 from Harbor Freight. Just need to do a little spacing on the engine, I think, and because this part of the CVT is contacting. And then I think the gearing is just completely and totally wrong, so that's why it's all just kind of stalled. I don't know much about gearing. So what I might do is just try and clean some of this stuff up. I think I'm going to throw this away. This was the engine that maybe could have been saved, but I already cut the transmission off of it. I forget why. I think maybe I was going to try and reuse it with the 212. I don't know. So I guess, yeah, I'll clean that up. That's still a dog. But here's the corner we're left with. I don't know if I can find a similar frame of the dirt that had accumulated there. I will throw it in right now. Before, after. Before, after. Before, after. Okay. Next, onto this exhaust. I'm either going to get quickly defeated or we'll have some success. Time will tell. It's chilly. It was snowing this morning. Not my favorite at all. Get, dog, get. Off into the wilderness he goes. Okay, so here's what we're twerking with. This section 1 exhaust, these two pipes. Notice how this one on the far side is bulbous. This one is not. If I were more geekier, shout out Wesley Kagan, you could probably do this. You would do this. I could do it. I believe I could do it. But I think it would be cool to map the rasp by catching the waveform coming out of the exhaust between, what is it, 2,500 and 3,000 RPM when you get that nasty rasp. And then after the modification, you would overlay the sound waves and subtract one from the other. And assuming you have eliminated the rasp, what you would be left with is the waveform of only the rasp. And so you could see that and highlight it and see where it is, where it's influencing the exhaust note. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna try and change it and hope that it gets better. I think I've got a leak back here, but nothing's loose. So, we'll see what's up. Yes, it's also leaky under here. All right. So, we now have two bulbous section 1s. They're definitely touching right here between the two pieces, which is why I put some heat wrap on one of them. And it's also touching very much so right here at this flange. So, I think this has probably been touching the whole time. I didn't look closely enough before making the change, but we'll see. If it continues to rub and make noise on that cold start, I'll probably just take it down and bang this a little bit and get some more clearance out of it. But you may be able to see how since we're looking at it, it's the left one, or the passenger side, is tucked up. It's nestled up further than the one on the right. So if you already have the one on the right on, you're never going to get the one on the left installed. So just a little word to the wise there. That stopped me once, and I wasn't going to take it all apart. And today was the day. So haven't started it yet. That'll be next. Here we go. That's a dog. All right, first start, dual section 1 rasp delete mod. We're about 20 feet away. Engine is lukewarm. We're gonna get some more clips, but the first impression is good. Call me crazy, but I think it's a lot quieter. And I'm into it. What I'm not into is the throw-out bearing noise. You can kind of hear it whining and chattering. Goes away, put my foot on the clutch. Welcome back. Goes away. And welcome back. So, knowing that the rear main seal has a leak, I'll just plan on doing that whenever I get the rear main seal done, which could be a really long time. So we'll see if that bearing gets louder before the rear main seal gets worse. What do you think? Yeah, I think I like the sound of this exhaust though. I guarantee you I do. That's, yeah, right there, just proved it. Okay. DSSR, great investment. Kind of a pain in the butt to put on. That's how much play I have in gear. There's still 2 bushings on the shift carrier arm that I didn't change because I didn't have them and they're a pain in the ass. But other than that, I mean, this alone is a great upgrade. And the next step, if I were to do any, would be a chassis mount shifter, so that could still work with the DSSR, and good times there, so no money lost. Like 1 block. And BMW, what were you doing unequal pipes like that? It's so much better. Holy shit. It sounded like a bad Honda before, and now it sounds good. Why, BMW? You're brilliant, but you do funny stuff sometimes. Money well spent. I don't know what the aftermarket sounds like firsthand, but they're like $300 to $500, and you can get the section 1 complete and cut it in half and do the mod I did for like $150. So do that if you're gonna do anything like this. Peace.